What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Capital of the state, baby. All right, boys and girls. Let's see. The Porter-built Longbed, the Shortbed kit. Let's see. I am 2 hours into the project. Now, so far, so good. If I was to put this on a scale from 1 to 5, being 1 being very easy, 5 being very difficult for your DIY, I would put it about 2.5. Because you're going to have to know some basic mechanical skills, wrenches, 11/16, 5/16, 3/4, stuff like that. So, I had a piece of paper. Oh, here it is. All right, so it comes with 34 7/16 1.25 grade 8 bolts, 7/16 grade 8 nylon lock nuts, 34 17 or 7/16 grade 8 plain nuts, 16 for mock-up only, and 3/8 8 grade 8 flat washers, quantity 68. All comes in a bag right here. And what it's saying is, this is a regular nut, this is a nylon lock nut. If you put this nut on there, when you weld, you will melt the nylon out and it's no good. All right, so enough of that. So basically what I did was drop the tanks. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There is 10 bolts. Drop the tank, unhook the gas line, unhook the ground for the sending unit, slid the tanks out, both sides. I cut the exhaust because I'm going to have to shorten it anyway. So I cut the exhaust, moved the muffler out of the way, dropped the dry shaft from the rear end. I know I'm going to have to pull it out and shorten it. And then the brake line I didn't unhook the Mercy brake cable because I'm going to order a Mercy brake cable for a short wheel drive, so I can change it out. So I'm not going to mess with that. I'm going to take the drums off so I can unhook all that stuff. So I didn't do that. And also unhook the wiring harness for the tail lights and just pulled them up through there. The only thing left is the brake line on the passenger side. And honestly, I'm just going to leave it. So when I take the sawzall and cut through, I'm going to cut through brake line and all, because I'm going to have to lose it anyway. So instead of fighting it and it be in the way, I'm just going to go and cut it all at one time. Then I'm going to take a flaring tool. I'll put a female union on there, and then I'll reflare it and I'll put it back, and then I breed the blades. Bleed the brakes. Also on the leaf springs, I cut the top of the rivet off, and then I ground it smooth with a flapper wheel. I took an air hammer, knocked out all 6 bolts, or brads, or whatever you want to call them, from the factory. And when done that, the leaf spring hanger goes up, okay? Which is fine because it keeps it out of the way. I took 80 grit paper, DA'd the frame, got everything slick. I put the Porter-built mock-up jig on there. I'm going to show you. I put that on there. I had to open up the frame holes. I'll show you that. I had to just open them up just a 16th so these bolts could go through there. Once I got all that in there, everything's good to go on both sides. And now I'm going to flip it around and I'm going to show you. All right, so here's where we're at, boys and girls. So these rivets from the factory right here, I just ground the tops of them flat, took the air hammer and just knocked them out. And when I knocked them out, this hanger just went up. So just be mindful of that. It's going to go up because I got the rear end jacked up. Okay, so the second part is, here's where I cleaned the frame. I DA'd it. Now, here's the VIN number. So when you cut that, when I cut this section out, I'm not gonna cut my template. I'm just gonna cut this part and this part, then I'll take it off and then I'll scribe a line here and there. When I cut this out, I'm gonna lose my VIN number. So what I'm gonna do is, once all this is rolled together, I'm going to cut this section out, and then I'm gonna put it on top of the frame somewhere on the inside of the frame, and I'm gonna plug weld it to the chassis because that's the frame, that's the frame VIN number. So now I gotta center punch this hole, this hole, this hole. Those are holes on the bottom, here, here, and here, and here. And then once I do that, I'm gonna clamp this so this don't move. And then I'm gonna drill this hole and I'm gonna put a bolt and hold it here. And then I'm gonna drill this hole and this hole. And then once all that's done, I will remove my template, because here's the thing. I got a template now from now on. So all these are tight. I went here, 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 here. And that's good and flat. So what's next is, like I said, I'm gonna center punch this, center punch that. I'm gonna hold this over, drill this, bolt this down, and then once I'm gonna take the cutoff wheel and I'm gonna cut into here, into here, and then I'm gonna remove my template, and then I'll scribe across here and scribe across there, and then I'll cut this 11-inch section out of the middle on both sides, and then I will roll the rear part up to match this. Now, here is what I was telling about. This section here will actually go in here. It will actually, I'm gonna do it on this side so you can see. It's gonna actually go in like that, you see? And then this is going to bolt here and here, and then the back half's gonna bolt here and the front half will bolt here, which will be this bolt hole and this bolt hole. So if you can imagine, that's gonna be behind that, and that is gonna bolt up there. Then once all this is rolled together and I make sure everything's plumb and square and all whatever, I will bolt this in, but I will V the chassis, and then I'm going to weld it solid all the way down. So, with that being said, let me turn this thing around. With that being said, this kit is literally like I'm 2 hours in, but let's be mindful that the bed wasn't on the truck either. So let's just add another hour and a half, 2 hours to get the bed off, pull all the wires. 9 times out of 10, the bed bolts are gonna be just whatever. You're gonna have to cut them out. You're gonna have to have some help to get the bed off. So if the bed was on the truck and I had to start from taking the bed off to get here, I'd probably be about 4.5 hours, maybe 5 hours into it. But since the bed was already off, I'm literally 2.5 hours in, and I've been working at a steady pace. Stay tuned. I'm going to turn this off, go ahead and get everything drilled, mocked up, and then cut everything, and then I'll come back. I appreciate you. Remember I said, boys and girls, don't worry about the man up the road or the man down the road. Sweep off your own front porch, worry about sweeping off anybody else. Just put God first. Let loose and drag. Peace, love, and chicken grease. I'm out.